आपका आज जो वीडियो हम लेकर आए उसका टाइटल है
हिंदू मॉन्क्स इन अमेरिका, कैरोलिना गोस्वामी।
तो चलिए देख लेते हैं ये वीडियो, लेकिन उससे पहले
इस वीडियो चैनल का ओरिजिनल लिंक आपको हमारी वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन मिल जाएगा। सब्सक्राइब के लाइक शेयर का फॉलो करेंगे चैनल को, उसके अलावा लोग चैनल लिंक लिंक भी हमारी वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन मिल जाएगा। सब्सक्राइब के लाइक शेयर का फॉलो करें।
चलिए देख लेते हैं ये वीडियो।
It is quite evident that India's dharmic traditions have no doctrine of systematic global expansion through the religious conversions of non-believers and natives, a practice which is commonly seen in other faiths. However, to some extent, India's intellectual heritage has naturally generated some curiosity globally, attracting a few to its traditions and spiritual disciplines.
Hindu scripture declares, without equivocation, that the highest of high ideals is to never knowingly harm anyone.
This is Sadhguru Bodhinatha Velan Swami giving the opening prayer for the session of the US House of Representatives. In Hawaii, under his guidance, 24 monks practice a spiritual and a sustainable lifestyle, a bit uncommon in a nation that is mostly driven by consumerism. The monastery is located in the tropical garden island of Kauai, which is the oldest of the main Hawaiian islands. It is a tropical paradise where famous Hollywood films like King Kong and Jurassic Park were shot.
No other country represented spiritual ideals and practical spirituality like India does. Well, the civil rights movement was drawn out of Martin Luther King's visit to India. Many people don't even know he went to India, or he was greeted by the Gandhians and explored the methods and decided that that could apply to civil rights in America, which he did, and he was successful at it.
If you go back to Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, the first thing he says is yoga is the restraint of mental activities, and then awareness can abide in its essential form. So the first thing that you see is a discussion about your own mind. Even in the sutras, he goes on to discuss the subconscious mind well before any European psychologists start talking about it. So I think the biggest takeaway is that life and evolution is not about what's outside of you, but what is inside of you. And that's the total opposite of what Western traditions have postulated.
These monks grow most of the food that they consume. They do yoga and meditation, spend the nights in small concrete structures with no electricity, and sleep on the floor. But life also takes a sharp turn each morning when they visit their office, which is located within the complex. These monks are also capable of computer programming and coding. They can design websites and create smartphone apps. From raising the California's textbook issues and participating in the local community service programs in Hawaii to running a digital enterprise that publishes a global magazine, the types of work chosen by them are quite diverse.
In the magazine, I work with Palani Swami, Sadashivananda Swami to produce for each issue the 16-page educational insight and to edit and lay out our publisher's editorial each month. Each issue is editorial each issue. It's Bodhinatha.
Jewish and Hindus are the two richest religious groups in the USA. The Hindu-American community is the most educated in the country. Hindu Americans are also actively involved in various philanthropic activities. Despite their immense contribution to America, Hindus continue to be at the receiving end of common media stereotyping, something which can also feed into anti-Hindu hate crimes. A 2014 survey revealed that in America, Hindus are not regarded as warmly as Catholics, Jewish people, and evangelical Christians.
Hinduism is presented in a very archaic, negative light. Any sixth grader coming away from an American classroom who's not a born Hindu, they'll get the impression that Hinduism is this dead ancient religion, that all it's about is a broken social system and cows. Interestingly enough, there's not enough education about what Hinduism really is in the West. People see yoga, they do yoga. They don't consider it as coming from Hinduism necessarily. They mainly categorize themselves, we've done articles on this, as spiritual but not religious. Just because religion is a dirty word to them, and spirituality is something that, denotes a personal path, that they are trying to find some deeper meaning. They know it's there. They just don't know what it is necessarily, and they don't necessarily know that the tradition they're trying to create for themselves actually exists to a large extent in other pre-existing traditions.
But they're still challenged by the misunderstandings of the society around them, by some mockery of their culture. Great misunderstandings about Hinduism exist in America. Those are going away slowly, but they're still there very prominently. But Hindu families have to face that. Hindu kids in school have to face bullies who say, nasty things to them, kid them for the fact that their skin is dark or their accent is unusual. But they're very resilient, and they're coming back in a positive way. One example to me is that I think for the last 8 or 9 years, a Hindu child has been first, second, and sometimes third in the spelling bee in America, which is like one of these little tests of our cultural intelligence. And it's startling the community that there's such a small group, but they're totally dominant in this field. And those are some positive messages back to the culture, that we're disciplined, we're committed.
The main objective of Hinduism today is to present Hinduism in a modern, well-edited English form to the West, particularly, but also that also carries back to India and Sri Lanka and elsewhere.
Its mission is to bring everyone together. Its mission is to halt the myths and misunderstandings that have persisted about India and about Hinduism.
Brahmacharya Sadasivanatha Palaniswami is the second senior member of the monastery. Besides being the editor of their magazine, he spends a lot of time crafting the sacred garden in the monastery. It has many local and Indian medicinal varieties of trees and plants. He wants to make the property a botanical preserve. The meticulously landscaped garden is a great visitor's attraction. The members of the monastery have also represented Hindus officially on various occasions.
One of the ways that Hinduism today's kind of broad spectrum writing and editorial policies has benefited us is by bringing trust to our journal. I'll give you an example. Back in the 1980s, when Bill Clinton was president of the United States, they had a big to-do over the cloning of a sheep named Dolly. And all of the world was aghast that human beings were now ready to make other human beings in a laboratory. And so Bill Clinton set up a blue ribbon committee, it's called, to study the ethics of human cloning. And he asked all the religions of America to participate, 5 major religions, and Hinduism was one of them. And for the Hindu point of view on human cloning, Bill Clinton's committee came to us on Kauai and said, we want you to tell the president and his scientists what Hindus think of human cloning. Is it permissible? Is it horrible? Is it a sin? Or how do you look at it? And so we became the voice of Hindu ethical principles in the White House of America simply because we were trusted not to give a narrow opinion of this ethical issue, but to give a broader Hindu view, which we did.
The traditional South Indian style monastery temple complex has two main centers of worship, Karoval Temple and the San Margai Raivan Temple, the all-granite Chola style architectural masterpiece. Rooted in Nandinata Sampradaya, the monastery was founded in 1970 by Sadguru Sivaya Subramania Swami. Nandinata Sampradaya is known for its yoga-centric approach and is popular among Tamil Hindus. The Sampradaya can trace its beginning back at least 2,200 years.
But he envisioned it not as a place where they just come and casually worship and have lunch or something, but a place where they prepare for a serious pilgrimage. So they prepare ahead of time, come for a week or two, do daily sadhana, worship at the temple, meditate, walk around in silence. Felt it was a good location, kind of halfway between Asia and the United States, both physically as well as culturally.
Hawaii is considered to be one of the most racially diverse places in the world. According to the 2010 census, in Kauai County, the largest race group was white, followed by Filipino, Japanese, Native Hawaiian, and Chinese. Following the dharmic principles, which do not advocate the religious conversion of non-believers, the monastery in Hawaii has only spread goodness by promoting cohesiveness. The monks have won the hearts of locals through their social service.
Helping a water cooperative, helping the land across the river be developed by a number of farmers, for example. Those are some of our recent projects. We put lots of time into doing a lot to help those involved in those areas. We helped establish a nonprofit, serving on the board, and we've helped establish an endowment to benefit the island that's held by Hawaii Community Foundation.
We're very fortunate here at the monastery because this island has an unusual spirit of aloha, which is love and affection and family and sharing. Other communities like us, say in Texas, are looked at as interlopers and strangers, and they'll even be looked at as a cult, even though they're not a cult, but they'll be thought of that way. Here we're really adored by the local people. Every atom of my life and every second of my day for the last 50 years has been dominated by India's wisdom. Let me say for myself, personally, that India's spirituality, profundity, and all-embracingness is what I love about it. It's so tolerant of other faiths and other ways of life. It's so accepting of all forms of humanity, and it doesn't draw harsh lines between what's good and what's bad. It rather looks at the whole universe as divine, and that's our belief too. And if the whole world could look at itself as divine, that its citizens are divine, that the nations and the land is divine, how wonderful a life we would all be living instead of in conflict. And in that sense, I feel India holds the answers to world peace. And for us, being so far from the rest of the world, publishing seems to be an appropriate and helpful way for this small community of monks to give back. So it's really our service and our thanks and our appreciation to India and to Hinduism for all that they have given to us, because they've given us immense treasures.
all the indigenous populations have been pretty much overcome with colonialism. South America, Mexico, Incans are all lost, but in India it's still strong.
From Hawaii to the Himalayas, my journey lasted for many months. India's dharmic traditions encourage one to focus on conquering one's own mind and to reject the idea of conquering the world. I could experience it firsthand in the people I met. I could observe the tranquility in their eyes. Based on the core philosophy of India's spiritual heritage, if we can encourage more people to focus on the inward domain, and if we can encourage more people to see bliss and contentment within, we should be able to reduce all kinds of religious fights and wrongdoings globally. Yes, India does hold the answers to world peace. See you again.
अच्छा, आजकल पता नहीं ये वीडियोस देखने के बाद मैंने ना एक आदत पड़ गई है, मैं करूँगी और उसके बाद फिर से मैं कंटिन्यू करूँगी। ये मैंने एडिटिंग करते हुए खुद भी ना नोटिस किया है। बट खैर, आज की वीडियो की बात करें, बहुत ही खूबसूरत वीडियो, बहुत ही खूबसूरत लैंडस्केप, और जिस तरह से वो जितने धैर्य से बात जो है वो कर रहे थे, वो आपको कहीं ना कहीं पर उस एनवायरनमेंट के साथ बहुत पुरसकून कर रहा था।
भाई देखें, समटाइम्स मैं भी जो है ना ये बात करता हूँ कि आपको जो है ना शहर की चकाचौंध से दूर जो एक इन्वायरमेंट मिलता है ना, उसमें ना आपको बड़ा सुकून जो है महसूस होता है। अभी जिस तरह के इन्वायरमेंट में हमने उन्हें देखा है, वो रह रहे हैं, वो वाकई में इतनी खूबसूरत जगह है ना। मेरा ख्याल है कि धरती पे ना अलग अलग जब आप जगहें देखती हैं ना, तो आपको लगता है भाई स्वर्ग ये ही है। बाकी भाई जिस तरह वो कनेक्टेड हैं हिंदुइज़्म से, स्पिरिचुअलिटी से ख़ास तौर पर, तो भाई ये लेवल अटेन करना ना इतना आसान नहीं होता। बहुत बलिदान देने पड़ते हैं, बहुत कुर्बानियाँ देनी पड़ती हैं, बहुत सारी चीज़ों को आपको पीछे जो है वो छोड़ना पड़ता है। लेकिन मुझे जो है ना आज के टाइम में एक चीज़ और बहुत अच्छी लगती है कि भाई लोग स्पिरिचुअलिटी तो अटेन कर रहे हैं, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ वो अपना काम भी जो है वो कर रहे हैं। जैसे हमने इस वीडियो में जो है वो देखा कि भाई वो एक छोटे से घर में रहते हैं, ज़मीन पर सोते हैं, लेकिन उसके अलावा उनका ऑफिस भी है।
और मज़े की बात यह है कि वहाँ पर लाइट वगैरह नहीं है, लेकिन उनके ऑफिस में आपको सुविधाएं नज़र आती हैं। बट मुझे ना एक चीज़ जो अच्छी लगती है, वो सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट मुझे लगता है कि आपके स्वभाव में फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी, एक्सेप्टेंस, और ये चीज़ जो उन्होंने लास्ट में बोली भी कि द होल यूनिवर्स लाइक इट्स लाइक कि वो उसके अंदर एक डिविनिटी है। तो मुझे लगता है कि जब हम ये चीज़ समझते हैं ना, तो हम बाकी लोगों को के साथ भी बहुत फ्लेक्सिबल होते हैं।
बिल्कुल।
और मुझे ये लगता है कि जो हमारा सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये होता है कि हम बाहर की दुनिया पर बहुत ज़्यादा फोकस करते हैं, और ये तो प्रॉब्लम मुझे अपना भी लगता है, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट। दूसरों के रिएक्शंस, दूसरों की कि वो आपकी जो इमोशनल डिपेंडेंस है दूसरों पर, वो बहुत ज़्यादा होती है। आप अपने इनर पर तो काम ही नहीं करते कि लाइक आपके अंदर की दुनिया में क्या काम चल रहा है। और मुझे लगता है जब आप उस पर काम करते हो ना, तो आपकी ज़िंदगी वो ही जन्नत बन जाती है, वो ही खूबसूरत बन जाती है। अभी जैसे हम लोगों ने देखा जो एक मोनेस्ट्री उन्होंने मतलब वहाँ पर बिल्ड की है, वो किस कदर खूबसूरत है। अब उसमें साउथ इंडियन टच है, बट वो आपको मतलब एक आप कह लो कि देखकर ही सुकून मिल रहा है। फिर वो लोगों की जो लोकल लोग हैं उनकी हेल्प करना, उनको सर्विस देना, आप अपने स्वभाव से लोगों को अपनी तरफ इंक्लाइंड करते हो। बाकी मुझे ओवरऑल वीडियो बहुत अच्छी लगी एंड आई होप आप लोगों को भी अच्छी लगी होगी। मिलेंगे नेक्स्ट टाइम, सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलना।
गुड बाय।